students, a very warm welcome to Rittugar Maths classes. Today we are going to learn the cross multiplication method of the chapter linear equations in two variables for the class 10th. This is such a method which is not picked up by the students very easily or very comfortably. As you all know, we are having three methods of solving linear equations. One is substitution, another is elimination, and third is cross multiplication. But sometimes the students prefer doing the questions by using substitution or by elimination. They use cross multiplication method only if it is asked, especially in the question paper. But what makes it that way? Let's solve it out and see how we can use the cross multiplication method very easily. Plus, I tell you a benefit of this method. If you continue with maths in your higher studies, in class 12 you get the chapter of three-dimensional geometry, and there are some equations which are solved by this method only. So you will require this method in class 12th also. So why not to learn it right now at this basic stage of 10th class? So please, if you like my video, like, share and subscribe to my channel. So let's start with today's video. I have taken question number 1, second part of exercise 3.5 for using cross multiplication method. I would suggest you to start the solution with always shift the constant on the left hand side so that your equations are of the form ax plus by plus c is equal to 0, which is the general form of a linear equation. Then you must do the comparison of ratios, because when you compare the ratios, what is a1 by a2? This ratio is the ratio of coefficients of x. What is b1 upon b2? This ratio is the ratio of the coefficients of y. And if you get a1 upon a2 not equal to b1 upon b2, like here I am getting 2 by 3 and 1 by 2, which are different, so they are not equal. So it means unique solution exists. Unique solution means that I will be having one and only one value of the variables x and y. Correspondingly, you will get the same solution whether you use the substitution method or you use the elimination or you use the cross multiplication. So this is advised that before starting with the cross multiplication method, actually you must compare the ratios, so that if you get unique solution, you should go ahead, you should use the method. And in case you do not get a unique solution, for example, you may get no solution or you may get the condition of infinitely many solutions, then you can stop over there only. No need to use this cross multiplication because you are not going to get any of the solutions, right? So then once you get the unique solution, then you are going actually to start with the cross multiplication rule. How to start this cross multiplication rule? I am having the variables x and y. You can see in these two equations, these two variables are present. And thirdly, I'll be using 1. This method is also known as 2, 3, 1, 2 method. I must say 2, 3, 1, 2 is very useful in understanding this method. When I say 2, it's a second column. Let's separate this into columns. This is the first column, second column and third column. So I am getting the second column first of all. I have to write on the coefficients of second column only, that is 1 and 2 to be written below x on somewhat left. Okay. Then next the turn of the third column. Third column, this is the column of constants. Then I move to first column. This is the constants, this is the coefficients of x. And again we come back to 2, second column, from where we started only. So since the name is cross multiplication method, so we will have to cross multiply also. Let's cross multiply. Then this solution becomes, I can write it as x, y, 1. The same variables I have written down. For constant I have put 1. This time I will be putting some symbols in between, that is equality. Now let's see for x. It is when you go from up to down, it's a simple product, 1 into minus 8. Simple cross multiplication. But when you go from low to high, That is, when you grow from 2 to -5, you have to put a negative from your own side. Why? Because whenever we go up, our energy loses. So it becomes negative. So you can just take it as a mnemonics to learn that whenever you are going up from bottom, you have to put a negative sign in between. Let's see for y. Similarly, -5 into 3, simple cross multiplication. But when you go up, you have to put a negative yourself and then the cross multiplication step. -8 into 2. Let's come to 1. This is the area for 1. 2 into 2. Simple cross multiplication. When you go up, you will be putting a negative sign. So I have got x upon 1 into -8 is -8. Minus minus plus. 2 5s are 10. Y upon -5 into 3. -15. Minus minus is again plus. 8 2s are 16. 1 upon 2 2s are 4 minus 3. And now, since it's very easy to solve for these additions or subtractions, I will be solving it. 10 minus 8 is 2. 16 minus 15 is 1. And 4 minus 3 is also 1. So I am having these three equalities over here. I will take first is equal to third and second is equal to third, so that when I again cross multiply, I get the values of the variables as the unique solution. So x is equal to 2, y is equal to 1. That is your answer. And now how to check, how to verify whether I've got the correct answers or not. You can simply do one thing. You can put these values of x and y in the given equations in rough work. If the equation gets satisfied means by putting the values of x and y, you get LHS and RHS equal. The equation is satisfied with this solution. That is, this solution is correct. I hope this is clear, but to make it more clear, I'll be solving another question also, so that you can just see the whole process repeated once again. Now this time I have taken first question, fourth part. I will be repeating the whole question. So let's start with first question, fourth part. In this question, the constants have already been shifted to LHS. So my first step is very easily available. I am not going to do it again. Now comparison of ratios. A1 by A2 is the ratio of the coefficients of x. B1 by B2 is the ratio of the coefficients of y. That is, A1 upon A2 is not equal to B1 upon B2. So you can write down unique solution exists. When unique solution exists, then only we move ahead. I have told you previously also. So let's move ahead. The variables x, y, and for constant I am going to write down 1. So let's start with 2, 3, 1, 2 method. The another name for cross multiplication, which is used as a mnemonics. Let's start with 2. When I say 2, it's a second column coefficients. I separate these into columns. So this is the first, this is the second, and this is the third column. So when I say 2, this is the second column. I am getting the coefficients as -3, -3. Next, the turn of third column comes, which is the column of constants. You can remember this way also. 1 is the column of the coefficients of x, because it is placed at number 1. And then again the column 2, that is from where we started with. Since the method's name is cross multiplication, so I have to put the cross multiplication signs, so that in the next step I can simply cross multiply these values. Again, the variables have to be written down, x, y, and 1. This time I'll be putting some symbols in between, the symbols of equality. Let's take the x. It goes from -3 into -15, but when we go up, we put a negative sign. So I have put a negative, -3 into -7. You can see this. Simply comes to the turn of y, -7 into 3. When we go up, we put a negative sign, -15 into 1. Then comes the term of 1. 1 into minus 3. When we go up, we put a negative sign. Let's simplify these. This is a simple algebra now which can be done. Minus minus plus, 15 threes are 45. Now I'm getting the three values of negative, negative, negative. It becomes again negative. Because negative, negative is positive, then positive, negative is negative. 7 threes are 21. First of all, you must check the sign. Only then calculate. Okay? Minus 21, minus minus plus 15. This is minus 3 plus 9. Simple constants to be solved for. Let's check it out. It becomes x by 24 is equal to y upon minus 6 is equal to 1 by 6. So I am going to compare the first with the third and second with the third so that I can get the values of x and y. It gives me x is equal to 4. I have again used the cross multiplication. 24 ones are 24 divided by 6 gives me x is equal to 4. And on this side, I am getting y is equal to minus 1. So these are the values of the variables as required by the linear equations. If you want to verify the answer, if you want to check the answer, put these values in the given equations, and if these values are satisfied by the given linear equations, then you can say this is the only unique solution which you were looking for. So please practice this method. This is actually the simplest one, and to be done, maybe it is asked, maybe it is not asked by name in the paper. It gives you the values of x and y simultaneously. So it is rather very easy. As it is considered, it is not that tough. So if you like my video, please like, share and subscribe to my channel. Thank you.